Hey everyone, Regal Views here. It is White Rice Wednesday, which means time for my Survivor recap. So, to recap on tonight's episode, it basically deals with the vote from last week that Malolo's coming back from Tribal, and Bradley's happy that Navidi stayed strong and stuck to the original numbers. The original plan, and voted off Brendan. And he sees that Michael is a huge threat, and he is. You definitely don't want to underestimate Michael. I think he's playing smart, not telling anybody his age, because if they find out that he's an 18-year-old, they're going to kick him off. But I think they're starting to see that Michael means business. And Michael, was kind of standoffish when he gets back to camp, and that's very understandable because he knows he's on the bottom, so he has to try to figure out how to work his way back to the top. The reward challenge, they had to leap over a table and dismantle sandbags and a lever that pulls small sandbags, and had to throw them at targets that would make a flag pop up. And they were playing for a coffee and pastry reward, and to send somebody to Ghost Island. And I find it's more game changing with them sending someone to Ghost Island at the reward challenge, because if they go at the immunity challenge, then they're immune from the next vote, but now they're not immune for the next vote. And Navidi actually won the reward challenge, and they went to Rocks trying to pick someone to go to Ghost Island, and it's actually Stephanie that got sent to Ghost Island. And on Ghost Island, Stephanie cracks one of the urns, and she doesn't find anything. And she has a moment on Ghost Island where she's talking about how she left the Mormon religion and her husband all within 6 months, and she said has gained a lot of inner strength, and I definitely respect that. You could definitely see that Stephanie's giving it her all out there, and it can't be easy from what she's going through to be out there in this game, and she's worried about that she might let her kids down, and that's sad because just being out there is as epic. Not a lot of people have the courage or guts to go out and play Survivor, so just being out there, you're like a hero to your kids. On the Navidi tribe, James feels pretty comfortable with Chris that they could basically call the shots now. And Donathan has a moment where he excuses himself from the coffee, and he talks with Laurel about his family situation, how he basically takes care of his grandmother and takes care of his mother, and how the coffee he doesn't like coffee himself, but the coffee reminded him of the two of them and what he sacrificed and to be out here for. And Laurel was definitely a comfort for Donathan. I definitely see them, having not only an alliance, but having a nice friendship. And Chris went in and was talking about his personal life with his mom, how he had to sacrifice a lot as a teenager. The difference between Laurel and Chris, though, is I think Laurel was being more sincere about comforting Donathan, whereas I think Chris was more looking at it through a strategic standpoint, because Chris sees that Donathan's there by himself, so he goes there hoping to bring Donathan on his side, which it works because Donathan, was originally going to align with Laurel, with Dominic and Wendell, but now he's torn in the middle because Chris connected with him, so Chris's little plan there worked. The immunity challenge, you had to race on this floating bridge carrying this bodyboard and a crank that pulled you back, and then you had to solve a combination that would unlock the slide puzzle. And I gotta say, I enjoyed watching this challenge. They're basically had to get on a surfboard, and they were working this crank to pull you back, and it was like a Survivor surfing. It was awesome. And Navidi actually won the immunity challenge, so congrats to Navidi on both a reward and immunity win. And Kellen feels responsible because of her work at the puzzle, and I think her and Bradley do a good job at the puzzle, so I definitely think, she should just shake it off and stick with the plan. So, back at Malolo, Kellen and Chelsea both want to split the votes between Jenna and Stephanie, want to split up that Girl Alliance. And it kind of made me wonder why they wouldn't want to go after Michael, because he is, as they could see, a big threat, as we saw from last week. And Jenna decides to flirt with Sebastian to hopefully, get on his good side, and it actually does work. Sebastian mentions how he needs a hair braider, and that if Jenna keeps flirting with him, that he'll be in alliance with her. So I hope this isn't another one of those showmances that will potentially cost Jenna her game. Bradley wants to take out Michael for obvious reasons. I mean, both Michael and Brendan came after Bradley last week, so it makes perfect sense why why Bradley would want to go after Michael. And they're starting to change their votes, seeing a new perspectives, thinking that Jenna is more... They don't have to worry about Jenna. Jenna's more safe. So instead of going with Jenna, what they're originally going to go with, that they're going to go with Stephanie based upon that they think Jenna's harmless. And they're a little bit unsure because since Stephanie did go to Ghost Island, there's a possibility that she may have an advantage. But just for insurance purposes, Desiree does go through Stephanie's bag and that she does not find an advantage. At Tribal Council, there's still... The vote may possibly be based off of a potential advantage in play. And they brought up the fact that Michael, has physical strength. And Michael himself brought that up, saying that if they want to continue to win challenges, that they need Michael. And I agree, they do need Michael to win challenges, but you definitely don't want Michael to get too far, because if he keeps playing the way he's playing, he's going to go deep in the game. And one of the tribe members said there's a lot that goes into strength, that it's not just physical strength to win Survivor. You need physical strength, mental strength, emotional strength. There's a lot of different layers of strength you need to win and go far in the game. And Jenna mentioned how she has difficulties making relationships because it looks like she always has this... She doesn't always have a welcoming face on, so that kind of makes people be a little standoffish. And Stephanie is basically out there playing for her kids. And the vote actually ended up being Stephanie that got sent home, and it was kind of sad to see her go. I mean, Jenna was bawling her eyes out at Tribal. But if they're going between Jenna or Stephanie, I think they made the right decision. I definitely think this was an opportunity to get out Michael because he doesn't have an idol in play. But I hope Stephanie sees that she did play a good game and that she should be very proud of herself. Next week's episode shows it's going to be a showdown between Chris and Dominic, hoping they finally get rid of Chris because he's on my last nerves. And apparently there's another big shakeup because there is a tribe swap, and they're either swapping tribes again, or they're going to do what's been rumored and they're going to go to 3 tribes. So they'll have, with 15 people left in the game, they'll have 5 people on each tribe. So I hope you guys enjoyed Survivor. If you guys want to check out Survivor, it is on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. on CBS. Until next time, stay regal.